Gratitude, in my opinion, is one of the most fundamental things that we can show as we move towards the God self. And a lot of the time we complicate things, and we find ourselves in a complicated life situation, which could have been uncomplicated if we simply showed a bit of gratitude, especially towards those around us, and towards the supreme being, the God self. And just by simply showing appreciation towards people, showing appreciation towards the being who, or the creator who created us, however ways that we choose to worship the supreme being. If we show, or when we show gratitude towards the things we go through, the things that we experience, then a lot of things that come our way, or whether good or whether bad, will be much better understood. And besides all that, gratitude in itself has plenty of advantages, or just plenty of benefits. Once you start showing gratitude, you find that a lot of your relationships improve, and at the same time, your stress level does decrease. You have a reduced sense of stress just by simply showing gratitude. And as I'm one for, and I usually really advocate for a self improvement sort of attitude, because the best relationships, as I usually say, starts with us. It's really hard to have better relationships if you have bad relationship with yourself. Bad relationship with the self usually trickles down to having bad relationships with others. So showing gratitude towards yourself can actually reduce some of the stresses that we encounter in our lives. This way you are able to reduce the stresses by improving the relationship with the self. And the relationship with the self, once improved, it can then improve other parts of your life. So we see that one advantage of being grateful, showing gratitude towards others, appreciating rather yourself, and just appreciating whatever happens to you, as long as you have been able to grow through it and become a better person. Also, in a subconscious level, once you start showing gratitude, you start reshaping your perception. Your mindset starts to see things in a much more positive way, obviously. With so much negativity in our lives everywhere, social media and traditional media such as newspapers and TV programs and all that. There's so much negativities, but with the gratitude, because gratitude in itself, it's a positive concept, right? You're showing appreciation towards something or towards someone. So once you adapt that sort of manner into your habit, right, your subconscious will start trying to at least have more of that, more positive experiences. And in a subconscious level, you will start getting positive experiences simply because you've shown that gratitude. And I think that's the real power of gratitude in itself, because subconsciously you start appreciating things, you start even appreciating things that are negative, because you see the positive in it. Remember, once we start to be grateful, to show gratitude towards life, we should not only do this when things are good, but also appreciate and accept the negative, but accept it in a way that you see it as a positive, either as a lesson in life or simply something that has to happen so that you grow and even move towards the higher self, the God self. So the gratitude that we show towards life, towards the supreme being, it just gives us that appreciation for life. It gives us that aura that we are living a life that, even if it's hard, even if it's complicated, even if it's tough, but we are pushing through so that we can see a better version of ourselves, and others can benefit from this in the long run. And of course, when we do not show appreciation or gratitude towards life, we tend to miss the lessons behind the bad situations, the failures that comes with life, because we tend to think as them as a negative experiences. Obviously, these experiences that we do not like, these experiences that we do not want to experience again. But again, life in itself is not just about good times. Life is ups and downs, but showing your gratitude towards these these down times. That's when we realize how much we have grown, how much we have developed, and it's a measure of yourself. You can measure yourself by these times, because you're now better suited to tackle these situations when they happen. And better yet, you can also help those who are going through these tough situation at that moment of time, because you are now experienced and you have developed and grown to be resilient, and then you can pass those wisdom or those experiences to those who are going through this whole thing, so that they do not have to go through these things on their own, and you can hand them a helping hand. And so another thing I can say about showing gratitude is that we will connect to our inner self, our best version of us, the higher self. It becomes more of a spiritual thing, because it connects you. Gratitude is something that will connect you to the higher self, and that way you will be able to foster a deeper feeling of your inner self, right? You will be able to have a deep sense of connection to your purpose, and you will be better aligned with the supreme being. You will align with the universe, and that way it's best, because once you align with the supreme being, it shows how much you appreciate the life that you've been given by the Supreme Being. And this can be done in so many ways, as I discussed in the beginning of this podcast, right? Prayer itself is a sense of gratitude. You can meditate on that, and others keep a gratitude journal where they write their thoughts and the appreciation for the things they've got, whatever, in a gratitude journal, or just you can simply just be grateful for those little moments that you are going through at any moment. Just show gratitude towards anything that you feel or you think that deserves such things. So practicing these gratitudes, practicing doing these sort of things will surely you'll be able to now connect to your inner self, and then connect to the higher self or the Supreme Being, because now you're practicing something that is much more positive. You're practicing things that are connecting you to the inner self and not really separating you with the Godself. And another aspect of gratitude that I'd like to end on, right, is that it has a ripple effect, meaning that once you appreciate someone, or you appreciate and show gratitude towards your higher self, this then kind of spreads. It's able to spread to other people, because it's I can compare it to a positive vibration. You see, it's you're spreading something which is positive. You are being grateful, you're being appreciative towards someone, and you make someone feel better for themselves, about themselves rather. You make others feel better about themselves because of being grateful to for what they've done, or for the things that they've done for you, and making this your MO, making this your activity that you do in a regular basis. You tend to have a better vibration. You will have better relationships, and you're gonna keep a lot of those relationships going, because you will be an example of a much more positive person to be around, and that's the ripple effect. It affects a whole lot of people around you in a much more positive way. And with that said, we should show gratitude regularly, especially to people who deserve, to people who have been with us, or just even someone who just has helped us in our journey, because as we move towards the journey of the higher self, of the best version of us, we are going to encounter a lot of people in our way. We're going to meet people who at times will stay in our lives. Some will stay in our lives, some won't be there for long. So showing the gratitude towards them will not only give them that positive outlook themselves, but it also create connections between you and these other people, which becomes much more positive, and you can now set your heights, so you can move towards the Godself with a much more positive outlook in life. And with that said, I'll stop there, and peace to the gods.